Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Angel and today we're going to talk about the books I plan to read in October. I know last year we had a pretty high precedent for doing a lot of spooky things, doing some spooky reading vlogs, but I don't know if that's all going to be possible this month. So I did at least want to share with you the list of books I want to read this month and hopefully get you hyped for them as well. I would, on my very tentative list of things I'd like to do this month, want to have at least like a spooky Halloween type vlog. And I think that would probably come out before Halloween so we can all be in kind of like a spooky mood together, but I'm gonna leave it up to the video and mental health gods. I actually did a little bit of market research. No, I just had you guys pick my TBR for me. So I actually did 4 polls. I did one for Twitter, one for Instagram, one for my Patreon, and one in the community tab here on YouTube. And I gave you 4 emojis and I asked everyone to pick a book and I didn't give you any titles. So I'm gonna go through and let you know which books actually won. I will have you like guess down in the comments what the other emojis meant just because I might do this again. I don't want to spoil it. Instagram chose Wood, which is for Ghostwood Song. And this one is by Erica Waters. This one, I believe both Wheezy and Michelle have talked at length about. And honestly, I'm going to read the backs of these to you. We're going to do it kind of old school. If I could have a fiddle made of Daddy's bones, I'd play it. I'd learn all the secrets he kept. Shady Grove inherited her father's ability to call ghosts from the grave with his fiddle. She also knows the fiddle's tunes bring nothing but trouble and darkness. But when her brother is accused of murder, she can't let the dead keep their secrets. In order to clear his name, she's going to make those ghosts sing. I've been having a lot better luck in the last year or two with finding YA horror that is actually horrifying, not just like a little spooky creepy. And ooh, some of the details on here, focus. Like the bees and like the dripping, like, ugh. Oh, there's like a snake at the bottom. I don't know what's going on. And then the next one you guys chose for me on YouTube, and that was the wave emoji, and that is Water Shall Refuse Them by Lucy Midnight Hardy. And this one, honestly, the vibes are immaculate. This one I believe I saw on Kat's channel. It says the heat wave of 1976, following the accidental drowning of her sister, 16-year-old Nif, and her family moved to a small town on the Welsh border to escape their grief. But rural seclusion doesn't bring any relief. As her family unravels, Nif begins to put together her own form of witchcraft, collecting talismans from the sun-bleached land. That is, until she meets Mally, a teen boy who takes a keen interest in her and has his own secret rites to divulge. Says it's very reminiscent of Shirley Jackson, soaked in folk horror of the British Isles, atmospheric coming of age, and a thrilling debut. And then on Twitter, there was a tie between the rabbit emoji and water emoji. And actually, I forgot one of the books, so let me go grab it. Boop. So the rabbit emoji, what? The rabbit emoji was Bunny. We're gonna try again to read this book. I didn't not read it recently because I couldn't. I just physically couldn't. A scholarship student who prefers the company of her dark imagination to that of most people, Samantha is utterly repelled by the rest of her graduate fiction writing cohort in New England's elite Warren University. I can't breathe. A clique of unbearably saccharine yet sinister rich girls who call each other Bunny and seem to move and speak as one. But everything changes when she receives an invitation to the Bunny's fabled smut salon and finds herself inextricably drawn to their front door, ditching her old friend Ava in the process. As she plunges deeper and deeper into the Bunny's world and begins to take part in their monstrous experiments, the edges of reality begin to blur. Soon her friendships with Ava and the Bunnies will be brought into deadly collision. I think it's just time. I know we know that I'm going to like this book, so I just need to physically read the damn book. The other one was Water, and that one is The River Has Teeth by Erica Waters, which is another Erica Waters book and another book that Wheezy has talked about, and I believe also Michelle. Says, Natasha's sister is missing. Her car was found abandoned on the edge of a local nature preserve known as the Bend. And as the case goes cold, Natasha's loss turns to burning anger. She'll do anything to find answers. Della's family has channeled magic from the Bend for generations, providing spells for the desperate. But when Natasha appears on her doorstep, Della knows it will take more than simple potions to help her. But Della has her own secrets to hide, because Della thinks she knows the beast who's responsible for the disappearance, her own mother, who was turned into a terrible monster by magic gone wrong. Natasha is angry. Della has little to lose. They are each other's only hope. And I believe one or both of these is supposed to have gay, bi rep. I'm not sure which one it was, but obviously going to get the scope of it in these two, and I'm really excited. My Patreon pick was a chair, and gives me a great opportunity to finish up a book that I DNF'd this last month. This is The Final Girl Support Group by Grady Hendrix. The only reason I gave it like an unofficial DNF, like I'm not gonna never finish this book, but I started it with Wheezy last month, and then just like both of us really just couldn't physically read it. Like we wanted other things. And so I am currently 125 pages into this one. This is about a group of final girls who are in a support group, obviously. And then a few of them start getting killed off, and our main character is very much, she's very paranoid. She's very like, almost like an unreliable narrator at times, and she's now on the run. The narrator so far is actually reminded me a lot of the woman, the girl on the train, and then there was also Ghoster. Like there's a touch of this narrator that I just really despise so far. And I'm currently on the waiting list for the audiobook. And then for Patreon, I actually have 2 books, one of which I've already read. I had a poll for 4 different books, and then these 2 books tied. So obviously like they don't have to read all, like both books, but I've already read one of them. So the first book is A Dowry of Blood, and this one is by S.T. Gibson. I finished this today when I was doing one of our like live stream reading sprints. And this one is a kind of like a Dracula retelling. I've never read Dracula personally, but that's how everybody talks about it. And it's from the point of view of his first in a set of like several partners that are all married to one another. And it starts out really strong by saying that she killed him. She killed Dracula, or whatever his name actually is. She is a very passionate relationship with this man, and he has given her all these things, but it becomes very toxic very early. The other one was A Touch of Jen, and this one is I think it's the only book on my TBR this month that I don't own physically. This one I saw, I think Jordaline from Jordaline Reads talk about. Remy and Alicia, a couple of insecure service workers, are not particularly happy together, but when they are bound by a shared obsession with Jen, a beautiful former coworker of Remy's, who's now seems to be following her bliss as a globe-trotting jewelry designer. In and outside the bedroom, Remy and Alicia's entire relationship revolves around fantasies of Jen, whose every Instagram caption, outfit, and new age mantra they know by heart. Imagine their confused excitement when they run into Jen in the flesh and she invites them on a surfing trip to the Hamptons. Remy and Alicia try a little too hard to fit into Jen's exalted social circle, but violent desire and class resentment bubble beneath the surface of this beachside paradise, threatening to erupt. As small disturbances escalate into outright horror, Remy and Alicia tumble into an uncanny alternate reality, one shaped by their most unspeakable, deviant, and intoxicating fantasies. Is this what self-actualization looks like? And then if everything aligns perfectly and everything that I've talked about before now gets read, there's also a Patreon pick for Sage's Patreon that I want to get to. I honestly don't even know what the book is, so I'm not going to talk about it, but it looks great, doesn't it? One last thing that I'm also going to be reading this month is Cemetery Boys by Aiden Thomas. This one is about a trans teenage guy who he is wanting to be a brujo, but to be honest, I don't really know the conflict here. I think he also falls in love with a ghost of another boy, so he's gay, which is great. This was a weird clip, I'm sorry. If you'd like an actual description, here it is. There we are. Those are the books that I plan to read in October. I have options and I'm excited to use them all. I'm hoping that now that I'm doing a lot of sprints this month, which if you didn't know, I'm doing a lot of reading sprints again on this channel. The playlist will be down in the description, as well as just go to my channel. You can set reminders, but I'm hoping the fact that I'll have like a scheduled time for reading, it will inspire me to read more physically, and I can get back into being a bit more of a booktube channel. Otherwise, let me know what you plan to read this month. Let me know if you're reading spooky stuff or if you just plan to read whatever the heck you pick up. I would love to hear about it. If you made this far in the video, you just want to leave me some sort of emoji down below. You can either leave me a smiley face typed in, or you can give me some sort of bug emoji because I just randomly looked at my Michael Crichton book that has a bug on it. So thank you again so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.